It's the finale, guys. It's Elfine, finally. So we're gonna be actually hosting this to Heroku, and we're gonna be configuring our server.js to actually give out two databases. The reason why is because I want to give a separate database if we're in development mode and another database if we're in production mode. So we're gonna configure our app to do that. So, let's talk about that. So first things first, we're gonna actually get this in GitHub. So I'm gonna have a skip down below in the comments, so that way you can just skip it if you already know how to do this. But if you don't, just go to GitHub, create a new repository, enter the repository name. I'm gonna just say Restful app to do. That's how I'm going to name it. It's gonna be public. Create repository, and this is how you're going to do it right here, or push an existing repository from the command line like this. So in our folder, I'm actually have to open it up. We're in desktop, this one right here. I'm actually get bash right here in this side, the folder, the main folder of our application. I'm gonna do git init. And we just did that, and we're gonna do git status. Let's see what's going on here. Yes, we're gonna get all of that. Get all. We're gonna add it and commit it. So the way we do that is git commit, and we're gonna actually have the -a, which will add everything in the file, and then -m, so that way we can have a message. But there's a short way of doing this. It's just am. And we're gonna have the message to do app. Do that. Nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. Let me see this. Okay, maybe because it's a new. So we're gonna get status, get add. Yes, I did mean that with the space. Whoa. We're gonna just wait it out. So how's your day going? Mine's mine's barely starting out. I got my cup of coffee right here. Oh, there it is. Talk later. We're gonna git commit now. -m for the message that we want to do, and we're gonna do to do app. So it should commit it. That AM, I'm sorry guys, the AM only works if it was already if there was already something to be tracked, and there was nothing tracked already. Since this is a brand new thing, that's why it didn't work. I completely forgot about that, so ignore that AM. From now on, when you start doing modifying files, you can do AM. But yeah, all right, we committed it. Now we're gonna go back in here. We're gonna just grab this first part right here. Actually grab this whole part, copy that, go into our git bash, copy it right there. We're gonna push it. So, and you have to give out your, I might blur that out. All right. Awesome. So we refresh this right now. We should. Yep. We have all of our things right here. Awesome. Now we're going to push it to Heroku. Before we do anything, hosting it to Heroku, we have to do a little bit of things inside our app. I'm going to get rid of this. Inside our app. Right now, I've already done a tutorial on this, guys. But I am going to just try it, briefly go over it, what we've done. So we've created before a post. Wait, what is it? A port variable, okay? So we're gonna go below app. We're gonna create a port variable. port. We're gonna set that equal to process dot env for environment dot port. All right, this is Heroku has this port, the process port, and our local machine does not. Okay, this is how we're going to define, or actually this is how Heroku is going to define which port to use. If it's their own port, or if we're in a local host, I mean if we're on our local machine, it's going to use the port 3000. So we're going to put an or right here, or 3000, because our local machine does not have this environment, this port environment. It does not have it. Only Heroku does. So once we have that down here, we're going to switch this to port, and we're going to switch this string to a template string, because I want to add in right here the port. Awesome. Save that. Did I? Okay. The next step is going inside our package.json file, and we need to tell Heroku how to start our server. So we're gonna write a script, and Heroku actually looks for the start script. So we're gonna go to start. Create a script called start. Okay. And this is where we're gonna tell it how to start it. So it's literally node server is in our server file / server.js, right? Also, we need to tell Node which Node version we're running, or it wants to install, and we want it to install the version that we have, or we were running. We want it to install the version that we have that works with this application. So in here, in your terminal, just type in node -- version. I could have done that easier. Node -v. You're gonna get this version right here, 11.2.0. Yours might be different, but this is the version we want Heroku to download. So we're gonna tell it that by actually creating another script down here called engines. It's not a script, sorry. We're gonna set up the engines property, sorry about that. And we're gonna do a object. Don't forget the comma. And right here, we're gonna tell it node. In quotes, sorry about that, node. And you're gonna tell it right here, specify your version, which mine was 11.2.0. And that's it. This is all we have to do for our, don't forget your comma up here as well. And this is all we have to do with our package.json. So control and save that. So we will need to navigate to our folder or our directory. And I'm gonna use Git for this, Git bash. For me, it works better with Heroku. Toolbelt works better on Git bash. Don't know why. So I'm gonna go to this one, and we're in here. So I'm gonna just Git bash in here. And I'm gonna just do, we're gonna create a Heroku app. So Heroku create, okay. It's gonna create this. So to make sure you're actually in here, we're gonna actually do something. We're gonna do git remote, because I've used Heroku before, and sometimes it caches the previous project you were working at. So you want to clear that cache and then actually go into the one that you want to be in, which is this one. So we're gonna do git remote rm Heroku. We're gonna basically just Heroku. We're gonna clear that out, and then we're gonna log into the one we just created. So, before we do that, just copy this. Make sure you copy this first. Copy that. Okay, now git remote, add Heroku, and then add the one that you just wanted to get in. So we want to do that one. Okay, now that we're in here, I'm gonna just save this right here. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so that way you know what's going on. Okay, now that we have that, we need to create a MongoDB database, right? So we're actually going to have to go into, I already did mine, but just go to mlab.com. It's free, guys. Don't worry. Sign up, and we're gonna create a MongoDB. A place for our database, right? We need our database to be in the cloud somewhere, right, in the server. So we need to create one. So we're gonna do create new right here. We're gonna create the sandbox, which is free. Just create that. Click on it and go down here. Continue. I'm gonna just do the one closest to me, which is US. Database name, I'm gonna just do to do right there. That's free. Great. Submit order. And now you should have a deployment. All right. So we're gonna actually go inside this. So click on here, go inside of it, and we're gonna have to actually create a user so that way we can log into this database. So we're gonna add a database user. I'm gonna just put mine as test, and my password is gonna be password. You're gonna see it anyways, password 1, and then password 1. Create. Awesome. Now we have this, and now we can actually log into our database for right now anyways. Because I'm going to delete this. Obviously, I'm going to delete this later on. But now we have created our database in the server, or on a server. So now we need to focus on our app here and configure that. So going back here. So before we actually, I forgot something. Before we actually get in here, we're gonna have to go back into our this, and we're actually going to have to configure a environment variable that Heroku has for a database. All right. To get that, we're gonna actually just do Heroku config, so that way you know what I'm talking about. So right now it doesn't have any configuration. It doesn't have any what's it called? Environment variables. So we need to actually set a environment variable, and Heroku has one for a database. So we're gonna actually do a set. So right here, we're going to do Heroku config, right? Colon, we're gonna set, okay? And we're gonna set Mongo, all caps, sorry, Mongo DB underscore URI. So make sure you got this MongoDB URI, because this is a variable that Heroku has for the database. Okay, and we need to set that equal. You are equal to no string, just equal, and then we're gonna go back to our thing. Our where did I get? Right here. We're gonna go right here. Grab this. Copy that, paste it right there, but the DB user is going to be the user that we actually created. So I created mine as test. I'm gonna go over here, delete this. I created mine as test, and over here I actually created mine, the password. Remember the password for mine anyways, it was password 1. So that's it. Hit enter. Now you should have that configured. Now if you go to Heroku config, you should see that. See, we have that MongoDB URI to this, okay? So this is going to allow us to connect to the database we created. So now that we have that in place, now let's go back and mess around with this. We're going to actually go to mongoose.js, which is in here, which we connect to our database. And we're going to set our right here, we're going to set this as process dot env dot mongodb underscore URI. Now remember, this process environment, our local machine does not have this whatsoever. We're gonna put an or right here. Our local machine does not have this environment variable. So if this doesn't, if we don't have it, then it's gonna go to this. But since Heroku is going to have it, it's going to be using this, our environment variable, which we set up, which is our production database. Okay. So now that we have this, we can actually start testing it out. But before we actually start testing, we're going to actually push it up to Heroku right here. I mean, we're going to push it up to Heroku. We're going to push it up to GitHub because we have made some changes, right? So git stats, stat us. See, we have made some changes. So we're going to add that right now. Did I do the server.js where we added no, not this one. Okay, I did. Awesome. Okay. So make sure you save this file before we do anything. Save that. We're going to push this to GitHub. So git add everything. We're going to git commit -m added mlab, and then we're gonna git push to, we're pushing this to GitHub right now for right now. Make sure you do this. Okay, I'm back. I just authenticated it and then pushed it. So now that we pushed it, we could actually push it to Heroku. Okay. We're gonna do that by git push Heroku master. Oh, there we go. So once this is done, I will come back. So mine just got done. One quick thing is that if you do have an error through this process right now, the one we just ran, you could do Heroku logs, and it'll tell you basically what's happening or what happened during your logs. Okay. I mean, mine is great right now, but it will give you an error if something went wrong. Heroku logs will tell you what went wrong and how. And right here, if you see this started on port 21431, that means everything went well. As far as you got this as well. I mean, everything went well. So we're gonna open up our app. You could do Heroku open, and it's gonna open up a new tab. Or you could just copy this URL right here and paste it. So I'm gonna just do that since I already have it. Copy that. I'm gonna go to Firefox, paste it in. You shouldn't see anything because we didn't create a home route, right? We didn't create a home route, but we did create a /todos route, and you should get, yes, a empty array of to-dos, which is exactly what we expected because there's nothing in there yet. But we are gonna add one. So open up Postman. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. So we're going to be making a post request, not to localhost anymore, but to right here. So I'm going to copy this. Go back over here. Delete some of these things because we don't need it. Don't save. Don't save. Don't. Okay. Now we're going to make a post request right there to /todos. Remember, we need to enter a body. Go to body raw. We want it to JSON format, so we're gonna make an object right here. I might have to put text coming in from Heroku and MLab. All right, now you put send. We should get something back, which is yes. We actually did create it. And now if we refresh the page over here, we get our to-do. Guys, we have successfully created a Heroku app and deployed it. Well, yeah, successfully. We deployed it and created a database for our production. Now we're going to have to actually modify our, down here, we're going to have to actually modify our app, so that way when we run it here, it'll know exactly if it's prod or development mode. So our app does know if it's production or development right now because of this right here, right? Because this is our URL, which if you go right here, is this URL. Obviously, we're not going to have that in our local machine, so that's why it's going to run through this. But I want to create another variable because if we open up our RoboMongo, Oh, Mongo. Yeah, Mongo. Yeah. If we open this up, over here we have this to-do database, right? But every time we run Mocha, it's gonna keep on wiping that to-do, and it's gonna wipe out everything we've done before, or all of our collections we have done before. I don't want that. I want Mocha to have its own proper testing database, so that way it doesn't necessarily destroy our collections. That's why I want it, because once we start doing development mode, we could actually have a whole lot of to-dos in our database, so that way we could start testing it more often and not just test it with two data that we usually throw in with Mocha. I don't know if I explained that right. Pretty simple. Let me actually explain it real quick. If you go to our server test.js, we create these dummy data, right? So every time we run Mocha, it'll keep on creating these dummy data, right? But if we run it on our to-do as well, it'll delete everything we've done previously. All our to-dos, if we added any to-dos, it will delete that and just populate it with this data. We don't want that. I don't want that. So we're going to create a new variable, or local variable, okay? So get rid of this. And actually our local machine and also in Heroku, they both have this environment variable called node_env. All right, this one's actually set in Heroku as, is going to equal in Heroku as production. All right, we're going to have three of them. We're going to have one, Heroku already has that as production. We're going to have a development mode as well, and we're going to have one for Mocha or testing mode, okay, which will be Mocha. So let's do that right now. So first things first, we are going to have to go to package.json and do a little configuration here, okay, in this test, right? Because we want to set our that node environment variable to test when we're running Mocha, okay? So in here, we're literally going to, okay, this is going to be kind of iffy. The reason why is because Apple or OX and Linux people, you're going to type this in, export node_env. We're going to set that equal to test, okay? All right, this one is going to literally set this export, meaning it's just a, you're setting the node environment equal to test. That's all you're doing here, all right? But this is only going to work for OS X and Linux. The export for Windows is going to throw out an error saying that it does not know the command export, blah, blah, blah. So I do have another version of this. The thing is, Heroku runs in Linux, so us Windows people still need this export in there, okay? And as for OX and Linux, you should write this as well. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but for Windows, you're going to put or right here. What happened? An or sign, and we're going to do set. Capitalize set. We're going to have to put this in quotes. Okay. We're going to set node_env equal to test. And after that's done, we're going to put ampersand space. We're going to chain this, okay? So when we run the test, it's going to set our node environment in variable to test, and then it's going to also run Mocha after that, okay? But just realize that export is for OS X and Linux, and set is for Windows. For the OS X and Linux, you do not have to add this part right here. You don't have to add it if you don't want to, but Windows, you do have to add all of this because, like I said, Heroku does run on Linux. So this export is going to be the one that's going to execute. It's not going to recognize set, it's going to recognize export. So now that we have that, let's move on. So I'm just going to control save that. I don't know why that, let me see, go back. Okay, get rid of, oh, we're gonna actually mess around with this. Now we're gonna go into our, server JS right here. And on top right here, go to the top, we're going to actually create a variable called env for environment. We're going to set that equal to process.env.node_env or environment. I don't know how you would say that. I say env. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get something from that. Or it's going to be set to development. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing the node environment and we're gonna actually see what it is, okay? Because Heroku has it set to production. We just set it, if it's gonna be Mocha, is that gonna be using it? If we're gonna be using Mocha, we just set that to, we set it to test, and then if it's nothing, it's just going to be development. That's what we're gonna have for env, the environment env, or the variable env. Now down here, we're gonna do if else statements. So env, if env equals, I'm gonna just copy this. If it equals this, we're gonna do two things. All right. So far we have three environment variables, but we use two of them. We use this port right here, and we also use this MongoDB URI. Okay. So we're gonna be configuring that in here. So right here we're gonna do if it's development, we're going to set process.env.port. We're going to set that to 3000. So that eliminates that we don't have to have this or statement right here anymore. And then we're also going to set this MongoDB URI. I'm just grab this right here, copy that, go right here. We're going to set that equal to our actual right here, this. We're going to copy that, paste it right here, Control Z, get rid of these quotes, paste. All right, and that eliminates that we don't have to have this or no more, okay? You can Control save that, and now we can get rid of this. Oh, well, let me just open it just in case. I have to explain a little bit more. So, now we're going to do an else if. I'm gonna just copy this. Else if the environment or the env variable is test. I'm gonna just copy all this right here. We are gonna set the port to 3000 because we still want it to run in a local machine. We're gonna set it to 3000, but our test, our MongoDB URI is gonna change. It's actually going to be to do test. So that way we could figure out which one we're using, all right? Because like I said, we don't want to keep on deleting our DBs just to seed it with two datas, you know? So we're going to have to this is how we're going to configure our things. Control save that. And to see if everything's working, I'm going to just log it out right here. Log env. I'm going to have some asterisk right there, and we're going to print out the env. All right, cool. Now in here, I still haven't, I need to go in to the our folder. All right, we're gonna actually do node server /server.js to see what we get. Oh, we get development. We do get an error though. Let's see what's going on. Address already in use. Oh, that's because I'm pretty sure I have it over here somewhere. Okay, yeah, I have it. Control Z out of that. Let's exit out this one. Right here, I do not have it, so I'm gonna just minimize that. Let's try it again. All right, started on port 3000, and you can notice that we do have development mode on, okay? I'm gonna open up Mocha right now. I mean Mocha. Robo, we still have a to-do. That's great. Let's get rid of this, and let's run the Mocha suite, okay? So npm test. Remember we did set test over here to test, and we're going to test this out. I don't want a node man because we're not going to keep on testing. I'm just running it once. So test, let's run that. We get started on port 3000, or wait, right here. Whew, I was going to say, oh, that's wrong. So we got test is running. The env is test. It's still running on 3000. Now we go back to Robo. Let's refresh this. and we get to do test right here. That is great. Now let's go into collections. We should get 2. Yes, we do get 2. This should be new test, second test to do. And over here, let me see what we get. We should got 2. But now we're gonna actually configure some things over in the Postman, okay? So on Postman, we gotta run our server over here. So Control C. Yes, we gotta run our server. All right, in our server, we're gonna actually post something. So where's the post? I had a post. All right, here's our posts. Do not save. Grab this, grab the body. All right, we don't have this. I don't think we have it in our Rovo. Let me see. In our actual to do, we don't have that. This should be the new text, second test to do. Okay, we don't have this. Where is it at? Coming from Postman server test, whatever, like second time. We don't have that in our database. Let's just send it and actually paste it in there. If we refresh this, we should have 3. Yes, we do have 3. All right, cool. Now, if we run Mocha, let's get rid of this. Let's run Mocha and just make sure it's not actually deleting all of these things. Okay, if I go in here, in our to-do, view documents, I still have 3, which is a great sign. Yes, I still have 3. In our to-do, I should have 2 still. And I do have 2. That is great. Okay, guys. So that is it for this video. I mean, for this application, you could do a whole lot more to this application if you wanted to. But this is just the basics, guys. Like, it's just the basics. It's just a taste, you know, of what it is to come. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, and please leave a comment down below, like and dislike. I think I already said that, not too sure, but leave a like or a dislike. And that is it for this video, guys. Whew, we have completed our to-do app. In the next video though, we are going to be creating, or we're actually be talking about security and authentication. All right. And then we're also going to be doing a real-time web app, socket.io, where we could talk to, we're going to create a chat app, basically. So stay tuned for that, guys. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Really, I really do appreciate it. Thanks.